Do 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 do. Have you ever been in a jam session and you want to play chords but you just don't know which ones to play? In this lesson, we're going to practice intuitively figuring out the chords through ear training. We're going to play the song Wildwood Flower in D major. And just like when I teach you guys fiddle tune melodies by breaking into small chunks, chaining, and call and response, we're going to use those same processes for learning the chord progression to Wildwood Flower. And once you get the basic process down, then you can do it with lots and lots of other simple songs to start training yourself to pick up the chords. Let's go. Hey there, in case we haven't met, my name is Jason, and I'm the creator of the FiddleHed course and community, where we make learning the violin a little easier and a lot more fun. So let's get started with this chord challenge. So I call it a challenge because once we get the basic chords, once I show you the basic chords, I'm not gonna give you any more instruction on that. I'm gonna challenge you to play it by ear, and then later we'll talk more about the chord letter names. I think it'll make more sense once we get started. So we're in the key of D major, so I'm just gonna show you the three chords we'll need. We'll need the one chord, which is D, and that's open D and A. D major. We will need the four chord, which is G major, and that's open D and A1. We'll need the five chord, which is A major, D1, and open A. So let's really get these down, because once we start doing the call and response process, I'm not going to say the chord names anymore. I'm challenging you to try to hear it and figure it out. So let's run through them again. The one chord, D major, open D and A. And what I want you to do is, as you're playing it, I want you to close your eyes, listen, and think D major. Now let's do the same thing with A major, which is the five chord. So D1 and open A. Get ready. And then with the four chord, which is G major, open D, A1. All right, so if you're not very solid on those chords, I recommend pausing and practicing them a little bit on your own. Really try to hear them and just make them automatic. These chords are used so much that if you really want to learn this, you should memorize them and just have them be automatic. If you're on the D and A string, you can just automatically play D, A, G, okay? So with that in mind, we can go through now and start learning the chord progression for Wildwood Flower. So I started this video lesson with that, and we're gonna start with that chunk right now. And so what I wanna do is, without saying the chord name, I'm just gonna play the first quarter of this song, and I want you to try to play it back, okay? Here we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a loop of this chunk, and when it's over, I'm going to count back in just to kind of reset. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, So if you weren't able to do that, like all my call and response videos, tons of these things on YouTube and in the FiddleHed course, just simply rewind and keep doing it. It's a slow process, especially if you're new. You have to keep listening and doing it over and over. And a big help to you will be to just set down your fiddle or hold your fiddle and just listen to the chord progression, either in this video or in any song you're doing. Just spend some time listening to the guitar, to the piano, or whatever the chord instrument is. Okay, so that was the first chunk of the song. So now what we're going to do is simply do it twice in a row because it repeats. And so this will be the first half of the chord progression to Wildwood Flower. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Do 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 do. Here we go again. Do 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 do. All right. So here's a quick thing for you to keep in mind. So that there's these 3 simple chords. And sorry, because if you're a beginner, then it might not be so simple. But relatively speaking, these are pretty simple chords. But what's tricky, and I use the word tricky because it's mentally hard, is that a lot of songs don't just have a very even chord progression. There's just a little differences in the way there's like infinite ways you could sequence 1, 4, and 5. Hopefully that makes sense. You could have sometimes the 4 comes really quick, and sometimes it's very even. Like I recently did a short lesson on the U2 song With or Without You. I'm messing it up now, but all the chords in that are very evenly done. They each get equal time, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go back and do the whole first half of Wildwood Flower again. 1, 2, ready. Do 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 na na na. And now we're gonna do the 3rd quarter, and I hope you're hanging with me. And if this is super hard, let me know in a comment. Send me an email. But it's because this is an experimental lesson. All right, so now we're gonna do the next section, and so we're gonna break it into a smaller chunk and try to do what I do. Remember the 3 chords we did at the beginning, D, G, and A. Here we go. Do, 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 do. Here's that again. 2, 3, do, 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 do. Okay, now let's cycle it. Do 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 do. 2, 3, do 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 do. 1, 2, ready. Do do do. 2, ready. Do 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 do. Okay, and then the 4th quarter is pretty much the same as the 1st quarter. So now I'm going to play the whole first half. Do your best to hang with me, and then at the end we're going to do the full progression, and I'll do it without saying the chord names, and then I will do it with it. Okay, here we go. So this is the 2nd half. Do do do. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3. Do 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 do. Here we go. 1, 2. Do it again. Do 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 do. All right, So now we'll do the whole progression, and here's another challenge for you. If you're feeling like you're getting it, then don't look at my fingers when I play. And I'm going to make more of these videos for the FiddleHed course. So as you practice this, if you want to really challenge yourself, you know what the chords are, try to rely on your ear and not the visual. And that goes for reading charts too. If you rely on charts, soon you need to have a chart. But if you rely on your ear, then you're kind of more free. You can join in more and figure things out. So now let's do the whole progression. I've been doing quarter notes. I should have said, but 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm gonna do the whole progression with quarter notes, and maybe we'll do it twice. And the second time I'll add a hoedown rhythm. So let's just figure that out a little bit. Let's do it on the open D chord. Long, short, short, long, short, short. So the second time I go through the progression, I'm gonna do that, okay? It's gonna be fun, let's go. And I'm using Strum Machine, huge fan of Strum Machine, not sponsored, nobody's paying me to say this. All right, here we go. La 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 la. Now the hoedown. La 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 la. Then it would continue like that. Okay, so just a few further practice suggestions. You can do this same process with other ways to play the chord. We call them voicings sometimes. So we could play on the G and D strings. We could play G1 and open D for your D chord, G1, D1 for your A chord, your 5 chord, and then open G and open D for your 4 chord, G major. You could also move the basic progression to other strings, so move to other keys really easily. So let's say we started doing it in D major on D and A. You could do the whole song in G major or A major just by doing the same exact fingerings on a different string. So let's do it on A major. Oh la 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 la, same fingering, and doing the same fingering for Wildflower, but in A major. And now I'm gonna go up to the 4 chord right here, that's D major. All right, so you get the idea. So, and then I would just say, try to do this on other very simple tunes. That's why I love like the most beginner songs like Twinkle Little Star, Oh Susanna. All those you can keep milking throughout your fiddle career, because each time you learn something more advanced, like what we're doing today, like intuitive chord practice, let's return to the tune, the melody. You got the melody in your head, so now it's like a friend to help you learn this new thing. And that strategy can be used to learn any new thing. Like if you ever learn higher positions, third position, just start with a simple song. Okay, so I hope you have enough to do with that, and please let me know if you like this, you want to hear more of these kind of things, you want more help with chords, or if you have specific questions. And thanks so much for taking part in FiddleHed, having fun teaching you, and I hope you are too.